Hey guys, Andrew Swihart here, coming to you from the 405 freeway in bumper-to-bumper traffic. I'm working on a new show, so I'm making the commute down to Santa Monica every day, and yeah, it's it's great. I just love staring at the back of other cars. It's one of my favorite things in the world, so sitting in traffic is the highlight of my day. I'm being sarcastic in case you didn't pick up on that. But today I want to talk to you about how much money do freelance artists make, because this is important. Especially if you're going to be going to school and taking out a whole bunch of loans, you should be knowing what you're getting into, because the school's not going to tell you the truth, because they have an invested interest in you taking out loans so they can pay their bills. And if they have to lie to you to get you to do that, they will. Now, if you've listened to any of my other casts, I'm not a huge fan of taking out loans for school. I'm a big fan of education. I love education. I educate myself all the time. I'm always watching documentaries. I'm always reading books. I'm always learning from other people. I'm always asking questions. I'm always exploring things on my own. I'm kind of a self-starter, and I think that's a big part of being successful in life, is not waiting for someone else to teach you, because usually if someone else has to teach you something and sit down and regurgitate it for you and outline it for you, chances are that information is already pretty old and is not going to get you to the next level. I've always liked being on the cutting edge, learning new things as they're happening, because that's how you stay in, that's how you stay afloat. And in the current culture, you really need to be at the cutting edge. You can't be waiting for someone to teach you stuff 10 years after they already learned it, because guess what? All that information is totally dated, and you're only going to be picking up the scraps left behind from someone who already blazed a trail, and you really want to be blazing your own trails in life. So anyway, getting back to the point is, how much money can you make as a freelance artist? Well, when you're just starting out, when you're just beginning, a lot of people end up working kind of for free. That's just the way it is. You might get lucky and get an internship where you get paid $10, $15 an hour. And if you can get one of those, great, grab it. After about 3 or 4 months or 5 months of working for free, it's time to start looking for a job, okay? That's enough. You don't need to put any more. You got some credit to your name. After about a year or two of working for $10, $15 an hour, that's enough. You need to start looking for a real job, okay? The first job that you get, like official job, you're probably going to be making about $25 to $30 an hour, maybe $35 an hour. So 25 to 35. You will probably have to find another company to go work for that you didn't intern at. Sometimes you get lucky and you're just so awesome they want to keep you, and that's what happened to me. But you know, I'm not saying I'm so awesome. It just worked out that way. I was very blessed. It just happened. They didn't want me to leave. It was time for me to leave. They offered to pay me to stay. Of course, I was working for free before that. So that's going to be your first real job, 25 to 35 an hour. You can get 35 if you negotiate it right, okay? The next jump in your career is you're probably going to end up working for about 40 to 45 an hour at a staff job somewhere. And that's, that's a good place to be, right? Staff. The only problem with being staff is a lot of times you don't get paid overtime. They might offer you some kind of a residual thing, like on a game. If the game does really well, you're going to get a piece of the back end. Most of the time, though, the people who run the company are, if there's any back end, they already have full intention of taking that money for themselves. So it's usually just a line to get people to work without overtime. Now, if you're a specialist, which is, in my opinion, the next level up, but some people like the security of a full-time job. If you're a specialist, and that's where I spent most of my career, being a specialist, kind of showing up like I am now for a job for a couple months on a show that needs some kind of, needs my specialties. I'll show up and I'll work, and I usually get anywhere from $50 to $65 an hour. Sometimes 70, and sometimes even 90, just depending on who the client is. And that's how I've made my money. Now, those jobs especially the $90 an hour jobs, those jobs aren't that common. They don't come around all the time, maybe, you know, once or twice a year for a few months. So, but a lot of the time, unless you're working on staff, a lot of the time as a freelancer, you don't work all the time. So, you want to get paid a little more because you have to make up for the days that you weren't working or the time that you spent looking for a job. So that's about what freelancing makes in California, working in the industry, video games, film, television, you know, effects. That's what you're looking at in your career now. Now keep in mind, $45 an hour at a staff job. That's what everyone seems to try and get. You know, artist level work. I'm not talking about management or middle management. I'm talking about just artist level guys. So when you're taking out, you know, $150,000 in loans, be aware that it's going to take you a long time to pay these loans back. So don't be a sucker. Be smart. It's not the school that gets you the job. It's your own abilities. It's your own smarts. It's your own marketing yourself. It's getting out there, talking to people, meeting the right people. The school's not going to do that for you. So this is not some hate speech against schools. This is about common sense. This is about being smart. This is about being clever and not being a sucker. Don't get over your head in loans to be an artist. It's just not worth it. Anyway, my name is Andrew Swihart. My website, andyswy.com. My professional website, swihartstudios.com. And if you have any questions, hey, feel free to email me or in the comments below. I'm a little busy right now, but I always try and get back to everybody at some point. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.